Greetings and welcome back to another episode of Heaven on Wheels. Today I want to talk about the anointing, a topic that comes up in circles all the time. The anointing, what it means to be anointed, and what is the anointing. The anointing is simply the power of God. The power of God. So it's been used in many ways related to religious leaders or singers or people with talent, that they were anointed. So simply stated, in the simplest form, the anointing is the power of God. So we use the word anointed in the church often, or in religious circles, faith-based circles, however you want to phrase it. But what does it actually mean to be anointed beyond the church or beyond religious context? Sometimes you may see a single mother who has 5 children and you wonder how she's able to handle that task. Well, you can have an anointing to do that. Or you'll see a person that's been single for many, many years. You can be anointed to do that. So the power of God is not limited to religious leaders or people with talent like singers or dancers, but it also can be applied to just ordinary folks that can be anointed to do whatever their task is that may seem simple to others, that may not seem simple but may seem difficult to others, but may be simple, or it may come very easy to that person. So we're talking about the burden removing, yoke destroying power of God. We're talking about power. So what is anointed? Well, we have to go back to Jesus when we speak of anointed, because Jesus was anointed, which meant he was chosen. So to be anointed means to be chosen. So Jesus was chosen to speak the good news and to set the captives free from their sins. So he was anointed to do that, which meant he was chosen. So now let's go to what it means to anoint a person. Sometimes you've seen in practices where people will take a bottle of oil, virgin olive oil or olive oil, and they'll pour it on that person's head, or they'll take some and they may use their fingers to spread it on that person's forehead. So where did that principle come from, and where did that practice come from, and what does it mean? So to anoint a person, in the Old Testament, religious leaders were typically anointed, which was a form of consecration, or to set them apart is what that means. So that meant that you were set apart to do the work of God. So you may see religious leaders like priests or pastors or bishops, and you'll see this practice sometimes, which is nothing wrong with the practice, as long as you remember what the true practice is all about, and not make it about the oil, but make it about God. So where did that even come from? Well, the practice of pouring on of oil came from the shepherd's fields. When shepherds would have sheep that had been infected with lice or other bugs, the shepherds would take oil and pour it on the sheep to prevent the lice or bugs to be able to get a grasp or a hold on those animals. And with the oil, it made it very slippery, and it was difficult for bugs to be able to hold on. And so that's where that practice actually came from, the pouring of oil and letting it run down so the lice or whatever bugs wouldn't get into the ears of the sheep. So that's how that was where that actual practice started. And so it was to rid of some evil thing or a lice or something like that. So in Old Testament, they kind of took that and used it as a form of ridding the religious leader or priest or whoever the anointed chosen person was to be, to rid them of negative energy or negative things, however you want to phrase that. So just in layman's term, this is a simple way to kind of express what it means to be anointed, what it means to anoint a person, and what it means, what is the anointing. So hopefully in review, the anointing is something that comes from the power of God, and it's actually gives you the ability to do something that makes it easy, what is usually typically hard for others. So as always, here on Heaven on Wheels, I just ask if you like this video to click the like button, hit that notification bell so you can find out when new videos come through, and also subscribe so I can keep these type of videos coming to you. As always, be encouraged, and in all of your getting, get understanding. Much agape love to you.